Are you too excited for Pride? Are you big partiers?
Mm-hmm. I like go through waves with Pride. I like get myself psyched for it, and then I go out one day and I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah, I hate people.
Not. Like, right, the people. So I'm like starting to like, I've had a couple like bookings come in, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
So like I'm going to be on like the Main Stage Burlesque show, for example,
Awesome.
and so on. We have a gig together
At Oasis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be part of that.
Very cool.
So like these really exciting shows I'm getting excited about.
Yeah, very good. Are you a Pride goer?
Yeah. I am usually not in town for Toronto Pride. I was last year I got here, and like we did this like House of Filth cabaret where we got to be part of, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, randomly got to go see Bonnie M, so that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
It was exciting for me. But yeah, no, I go. I can't go too much.
Yeah.
Because I get a little crowd.
Anxious?
Yeah, a little crowd anxious.
Yep. Feel you. A little overwhelming feelings happening with so many people. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just like floods of people. Like
it's
pouring into everywhere.
But there's so many good shows, so much awesome content. Like I love seeing what everyone's putting out there for all those little side shows that are happening everywhere at night. Like all the cabarets and the poetry and the burlesque and drag and storytelling. And I love that so much. And the community just going and getting like powerful together is great.
Yeah. Do you, I kind of get from you too that you do express yourself very authentically on the regular. So is that a thing that is either amplified at Pride for you, or
I don't know.
How do you feel about the freedom of the celebration?
Amplified for me any more than it is on like I'm like a surprisingly consistent person.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, like I'm queer every day.
Yeah.
I'm dressed like a rainbow like 6 out of 7 days.
Yeah.
At the supermarket.
At the supermarket. So grocery shopping and sequins and that sort of stuff. I really appreciate Pride and like what it is and what it stands for. There are pros and cons to Pride though every year, so it's just like, so what's interesting when it comes together, this is like the I should have been a sociologist in me, is that you get this microcosm of queerness in the city, and you get to see the best and the worst of it.
Right.
So I look forward to seeing the best, but you're like, fuck, I'm also gonna have to deal with like the worst this community has to offer at the same time. Right. And it's
at its best, what is the Toronto queer community, do you think?
I've started, since I moved here to Toronto a couple of years ago, I've started looking for, because I am queer, but I'm also Caribbean. So I'm looking for, and this has been really successful and lovely for me, is looking, like going out with family members of like actual family and chosen family, where finding like events for like Black events, POC events, Indigenous events, Caribbean events, is being surrounded by queer people of color is a really special space that creates. And especially there's some really good queer Caribbean events, which are beautiful and exciting, especially for because it's being queer in the Caribbean is a not okay thing to do and is very dangerous. So being able to celebrate our queerness and our Caribbeanness in one place is
kind of unique,
rare
and
special. So it's great when we can congregate together, which is probably one of my favorite things that Pride has to offer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about Pride, Pickles?
I don't know. I've been to like 2 Toronto Prides. I mean, I've been to a lot of other ones around the world. Like I went to like Barcelona Pride and Berlin Pride and Vancouver Pride and Winnipeg. And I gotta say, like, I like the little ones in the places where like, like the kind of like smaller, more rural prides where it's like people like really need that. Because I think the thing I get kind of aggro about is like, last time I went to Vancouver Pride, I felt like it was like 10 minutes of cops Justin Trudeau and his family, 10 minutes of cops, and then like it'd be 10 minutes of banks, and then there'd be like,
10 minutes of banks.
like queer
So
seniors that fought the good fight and are still fighting the good fight and that are fucking heroes, and then 10 minutes of banks, and then
another 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I was getting just like, you're trying to party because it's this big party and everyone's so fun and we're all dressed fun and there's confetti everywhere and everyone's dancing, and I want to experience that fun, and I want to like have the firecracker self come out, not the like analytical self, but I'm sitting there being like, why
banks?
I'm like, why are the senior queers that fought the good fight not on the cover of the newspaper? Like, I don't want Justin Trudeau and the banks on the cover of the newspaper. I want us to be focusing on like people who are like doing these incredibly brave things and have been. And
do you find that's the thing that happens more often at the smaller kind of pride celebrations?
Yeah,
the focus is where it should be.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like it feels still more like a celebratory protest, which is what I want. And I love the big party. I really do. I have a hard time getting out of my head about it. And it's there, it's like I don't want to be like trashing pride. It's great.
Yeah.
Because those things and those people and those heroes are there.
Yes.
You just gotta like, they're there in a sea of sponsors.
Yes. Wade through the banks.
And they are there, and we need to appreciate them, and I think it's awesome. But
yeah,
that's a thing for me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the thing. Like, what is pride to you? Is it a celebration, or is it a protest, or 1,000 things in between? Yeah. So it's gonna be different for everyone, essentially. We're pretty much wrapping up here, if you can believe it.
Whoa,
I know you both have a lot of things coming up. Would you like to tell me about some of your fun performancy
stuff we have coming up together? So hopefully this will air in time. Is at the end of the month. We are part of, I don't know if you can see this.
The
Fierce Queer Burlesque Festival, which is an international burlesque festival. So the festival's been around for 6 years, and this is the first time it's come to Toronto because it's in a different city every year.
Amazing.
So this is its first time out of America.
Amazing.
So we're going to be performing Thursday, May 24th, in the opening night at Buddies and Bad Times. And then we will be around for the weekend just being clowns and making balloons and exchange for money. And then the weekend after that, on June 1st, we are curating a clown burlesque cabaret for the Toronto Festival of Clowns.
Amazing.
Which is at the Monarch Tavern.
Exciting.
Yeah, which is super exciting.
Very cool.
I believe their website is torontofestivalofclowns.com. If you Google it, it'll show up, and you can see pictures of me on the website.
Awesome.
It's very exciting.
Very cool.
And then that weekend wraps up with June 3rd is Sinful Sundays at Cherry Cola's, which is a weekly burlesque show. We are going to be presenting Clowns Kill Empire's Takeover, and it's going to be showbows and showgirls, and we have a special guest from Edmonton and some other fun stuff.
Amazing.
And some rodeo clowns and things.
Amazing. Anything you have to add, Pickles?
No, that's what we got going on. And then
you did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, we're also at Oasis on the Saturday of Pride.
Lovely.
On the 23rd.
Great.
And then we're doing Nerdlesque Drag together. Also at Oasis on Sunday the 20th.
That's May the 20th.
May the 20th. Yeah.
Fantastic. Are there places that people can reach you, follow you?
Yes, you can find us on the social medias at Clowns with a S, Clowns Kill Empires is where you can find both of us. You can find me on most platforms at Miss Imogen Quest.
And Pickles?
I'm Pickles LaVey on Instagram and Pickles LaVey Burlesque on Facebook.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for coming and speaking with me today.
Thank you for having us.
It has been quite the gender fuckery.
Yes.
Here at the Bedpost Podcast.
And every day.
Yeah, exactly. Every day's a party.
Yeah.
As far as Bedpost stuff goes, if you're in Toronto and want to see the Bedpost stage show live, we are the last Tuesday of every month at 9 at the Super Wonder Gallery and the third Friday of every month at 8 at the Social Capital Theatre. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. That does great things to my business always. Same with if you're listening to me and Pickles and Imogen on iTunes or another podcasting app, a rating and a reviewing always helps out as well. It just makes more people aware of the podcast, and we'll get some more of the good word spread around. I want to give a huge shout out / thank you. It's a thank out. It's my new thing. To our podcasting, coined, trademarked. Huge thank you and a shout out to everyone at this Sonar Network. That's the podcasting network that I'm a part of. Also, a big thank you, as always, to Eggplant Media and the folks here at the Pacific Junction Hotel. They do all the amazing tech for our podcast and our video content as well. If you are listening to iTunes, you're going to hear original music by Stephanie Copeland as well. And she can be reached on her website at stephcopelandmusic.com. And I want to thank you both once again. And I want to thank everyone that's listening and watching. And we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.